The Gianforte administration said last week that the number of Montanans working and the size of the labor force in Montana grew to an all-time high in August, with more than 551,000 Montanans employed and just under 63% of the population being part of the labor force. However, Montana ranks above the national average and actually in the top 10 of U.S. states for job openings. In fact, as of last week, there were more than 23,000 job listings. Employers face stiff competition for available workers, and the public sector can move slower than the private when it comes to adjusting wages or benefits to attract workers. MTN senior political reporter Ashley Nurbavig has been digging into the numbers of open positions for state workers.
I'm at the Montana State Capitol, where last week Democratic State Senator Pat Flowers said the number of vacancies across state government is hurting its ability to provide services.
I think the only follow-up that I would have is, it seems to me that we are facing a crisis right now in state government in terms of vacancies.
Flowers was speaking to Sonia Powell, the lead budget analyst for the governor's office. Powell was scheduled to speak in part on the governor's plan to address statewide vacancies.
I didn't really prepare anything for the statewide vacancies plan, but I can tell you that the budget office is addressing these on an agency by agency basis.
In Lewis and Clark County, the number of open job positions crept to about 9,800 in September, the highest of any county in the state. Government jobs make up about 30% of all jobs in Lewis and Clark County, and close to 2/3 of those are positions with state government. The state's challenges with hiring staff for places such as the Montana State Hospital and the Montana State Prison are well publicized and ongoing. For instance, correctional officer vacancies continued to climb in the last quarter of the fiscal year. However, the state is also hurting for administrative assistants, project managers, and IT specialists. Across the country, more than half of state and local public sector workers are considering leaving their positions, according to a 2021 survey by Mission Square Research Institute, a nonprofit that studies government workforces. Those surveyed said to retain more employees, governments should improve salaries and either offer or increase bonuses. The Office of the State Public Defender increased wages for its attorneys in April and also enforced limits on attorney workloads, and the department's open positions fell from 35 to under 10. Republican State Senator Mike Lang said he felt the same as Senator Flowers about the need for the governor's office to address state vacancies.
But we also know that government moves very slowly, a lot slower in the business world, and I think that the staff of the agencies have done as good as they can do right now to take care of our customers.
In Helena, Ashley Nurbavig, MTN News.